What's the difference between color correction and color grading? In the world of creators, I often see these two terms used interchangeably by photographers and videographers, especially newer creators, and they're actually quite different. They describe two different parts of the photo or video editing process, and it's extremely important to know the difference between the two, especially when you're communicating with other creators. So what exactly is color correction? Color correction is the process of correcting the colors, pretty self-explanatory, in your photo or video. The goal of color correction is to ensure that what you're seeing on your computer screen accurately represents what you saw when you were on your production set, whether you were on a photo shoot or a video shoot. Getting accurate white balance is critical. Now it's pretty easy, especially if you have something neutral on your set, a neutral gray. You can select it in most programs like Lumetri Color in Adobe Premiere or in Adobe Lightroom, Adobe Camera Raw, and you can properly set the white balance of your shot. And a quick side note, it is always easier to correct the color temperature of your photo or video if you are working with raw photos or raw video. Now personally, I would consider basic toning of your image to be color correction as well, because you're trying to match the exposure of your camera with what you saw with your eyes on set. And hopefully you got as close as possible in camera. Now, color correction is done earlier in the process than color grading, and that's because we want to have an accurate base or a foundation to later do our color grading. Which brings us to our next point: what is color grading? So once we've completed our color correction and we think our shot looks accurate to that of the location, then we can apply our color grade. So what exactly is a color grade? It's really establishing or creating a stylistic look for your photo or video. Color grading is a lot less about accuracy and more about artistry. It's all about the feeling of the scene. For example, some common color grading techniques you may see are warming of skin tones or cooling of shadows. We know that's not how we saw the scene in real life, but we are applying an artistic look to our shot to make it look just a little bit better and add a little bit of our own vibe or aesthetic to the shot. If you're a fan of summer blockbusters, let's say Transformers, Pirates of the Caribbean, big movies like that, you'll notice that orange and teal is a common color grade. Again, we all know that's not how things looked in real life, but it's that style, especially in Hollywood, to really warm up those skin tones and cool down the shadows to really bring some emphasis to the characters in our scene. Many wedding photographers, for example, also use color grading to get an accurate look across their entire wedding gallery. So to quickly summarize the difference between color grading and color correcting, correction is, again, correcting, making sure our colors are accurate to what we saw on location, and color grading is that next step of applying a feel or a stylistic look to our image. Now that you know the difference, you can go forth and correct other photographers and videographers and educate them and make sure we are all talking the same lingo and that these two very different terms aren't quite interchangeable. So I appreciate you for watching this video. I really hope you learned something. If you did, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And if you want to see more behind the scenes content, be sure to join the channel and you can be one of our producers or executive producers and help me create more content just like this. So until next time, get out and go shoot.